You don't belong here. Leave before you embarrass us, my sister whispered at her wedding, pushing my chair back in front of everyone. Guests stared. My mom nodded. I stood up, but then something stopped me cold. My name's Danielle Harper, and I'm 34 years old. I've spent most of my life feeling like the extra daughter in my own family, the one nobody really celebrated or defended when it mattered. I work as a freelance editor. Nothing flashy, just quiet work that pays my bills and keeps me independent. My sister, Olivia, has always been the one they showed off, the perfect daughter with the perfect life everyone admired. I wasn't rich or glamorous, but I had something they never noticed or valued. Growing up, I was left out of decisions, photos, even simple praise that seemed to come so easily to her. Still, I showed up every time. Birthdays, holidays, everything, hoping things might change. When Olivia invited me to her wedding, I thought maybe this was a new start for us. I bought my own dress, took time off, and even came early to help with decorations. But the moment I walked in, I felt it again, that cold distance. I ignored it because I wanted to believe this time would be different. If you've ever felt like the outsider in your own family, hit that subscribe button. I know how quiet that kind of pain can be. Tell me in the comments if you felt it too. And don't forget to like and click hype, because stories like this deserve to be heard. At the reception, they seated me at the very back table near the exit, far from the stage where the real guests were sitting. I could hear the clinking of glasses and soft music, but what stood out more were the whispers. "Why is she even here?" someone said behind me. I kept my head down, pretending not to hear. Then Olivia stood up for her toast, smiling like everything was perfect. Halfway through, she looked straight at me and said, "Some people just don't understand their place." A few people laughed. My face burned. My mom leaned over and whispered, "Don't cause a scene." I wasn't planning to. I just wanted to disappear. Then a staff member came over and said, "Ma'am, your seat has been reassigned." I blinked. To where? He pointed toward the back corner near the kitchen door. Before I could respond, Olivia walked over, her smile gone. "You don't belong here. This day isn't about you," she said, quietly but firmly. People turned. They were watching. I stood up slowly, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. My hands were shaking. I was about to walk out when suddenly the wedding coordinator rushed in, speaking fast. "Excuse me, there's a legal matter that needs immediate attention." The room went quiet. Then a man in a suit stepped inside, holding a thick folder. I froze when I realized he was looking directly at me. Before I could speak, Olivia scoffed and turned away, already dismissing him. I tried to leave again, but my aunt stopped me and whispered, "You weren't in the family photos earlier, did you notice?" I shook my head. She sighed. "They said you didn't match the look." That hit harder than I expected. I walked toward my dad and asked quietly, "Was I even supposed to be here?" He didn't hesitate. "Your sister didn't want distractions," he said flatly. I nodded like I understood, but something inside me shifted. Then Olivia came back, her voice sharper. "Why are you still here? Are you trying to ruin my day?" I didn't answer. I just stood there, feeling years of silence pressing on my chest. The music started again. People tried to act normal, but I noticed the lawyer hadn't moved. He was still watching. The smell of the flowers mixed with the food in the room felt overwhelming. My heart was pounding, but my face stayed calm. They thought I would leave like always, that I would accept it again. But this time, I didn't move. What they didn't know was that weeks before this wedding, I had received a call that changed everything. It was about my grandmother's estate, the only person in the family who ever treated me like I mattered. She had passed quietly, and I was asked to attend a formal reading of her will. The timing overlapped with the wedding, so I chose the wedding, thinking it was more important to show up. I didn't tell anyone about the call. It didn't seem like something they would care about. But what they didn't know was that the will had very specific instructions, and it involved everyone in this room. I had been quiet on purpose, watching, waiting, trying to understand what was really going on. Something about the lawyer's presence told me this wasn't random. He was here for a reason, and somehow it was connected to me. He walked over slowly and said in a low voice, "You might want to stay." I looked at him, confused. Why? He adjusted his glasses and said, "Your grandmother prepared for this." My chest tightened. Meanwhile, Olivia was laughing again with her friends. "Some people just can't take a hint," she said loudly. My mom came up to me one more time. "Please, just leave quietly," she said. I shook my head. "Not this time." The lawyer stepped forward and raised his voice. "May I have everyone's attention?" The room fell silent. Glasses stopped clinking, music faded. Olivia turned, annoyed. "Can this wait?" she asked. The lawyer looked straight at her. "No, this concerns the entire family." The tension in the room shifted instantly. People leaned closer. I could feel something building, something none of them were ready for. He opened the folder slowly and began reading from the 12-page document. His voice was calm but firm. "This is the last will and testament of Eleanor Hayes, my grandmother." The room went still. "Her estate will be distributed under one condition, that all family members maintain unity and treat one another with equal respect." Olivia let out a small laugh. "That's vague," she said. The lawyer didn't react. "There is a clause. Any individual who publicly disrespects another family member forfeits their share." That changed everything. The room filled with whispers. Olivia crossed her arms. "That's ridiculous." The lawyer looked at her. "It is legally binding." He continued reading, listing documented incidents, statements, even witnesses. My stomach dropped when he mentioned behavior that matched exactly what had just happened. "In the event these conditions are broken, the estate transfers to Danielle Harper." My name echoed in the room. My parents stood up, protesting, but the lawyer held up signed documents. Olivia's face lost all color. "This can't be real," she said. I finally spoke, my voice steady. "I didn't come here to take anything. I just wanted to belong." No one spoke after that. I walked out of that wedding with my head high for the first time in my life. Not because of money or what I might gain, but because everything had finally been seen. They couldn't ignore it anymore. Olivia's perfect day wasn't perfect anymore. My parents stood there unsure of what to say or do. I didn't wait for apologies. I didn't need them. For once, I wasn't chasing their approval. I was choosing myself. The air outside felt lighter, like something had finally been released. I realized that sometimes the people who push you away are the ones who never deserved your place in their lives to begin with. If your family has ever made you feel like you didn't belong, I understand that pain deeply. Share your story in the comments. I'm listening. You're not alone, no matter how it feels. Subscribe to be part of a space where your voice matters. Click hype to help this story reach others who need it. Your story has power. If you felt a connection to mine, please subscribe and share your journey in the comments. Every hype you give helps someone else feel seen. Thank you for being here and for listening. "You don't belong here. Leave before you embarrass us," my sister whispered at her wedding, pushing my chair back in front of everyone. Guests stared. My mom nodded. I stood up, but then something stopped me cold.